10,670 pounds of Wolfpack 315 with a 12-foot enclosed private garage here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This continues to be one of those infantry soldier members of our fifth wheel toy hauler lineup where they continue to find homes, consistently. Happy people taking them home, and I tell you, we sure haven't seen a lot of these back to work on, and I think that's one of the best things. But what is really kind of the coolest thing here is if you look at this compared to the previous generation of 315 Wolfpack, at a glance, other than the fact that the graphics change from swooshes to a more modern linear straight line fashion, you don't see a whole lot of difference. But that's because things that used to be optional became standard, and when they did that, they controlled the cost of it, and we are literally now getting more equipment at less money on the Wolfpack 315 than ever before. One of the main questions with any toy hauler is going to be, what you putting in it? And in the case of a Wolfpack 315Pack12, that means we've got 12 feet of opportunities, and we've got, holy cow, 15 of these D-rings to be able to give you plenty of space to tie down those opportunities. And what's really cool about that is, especially if you look at the pattern where they're placed, it means that like you and someone else that you're riding around, hanging around with, if you got one toy, two toys, red, blue toys, whatever, you don't have to fight for tie downs, really, which is very, very handy. And I love the updated industrial flooring that they have in here, that sort of like grid print as opposed to the old diamond print. I don't know, not that it's any better, I just think it looks cool. I like that it looks different, and I think that it complements the color palette going on throughout the RV better as well. Now, we do have a roll-down tent screen wall back here. You can see we got some nice big windows for viewing. There's plenty of power outlets back here. You've also got, as most toy haulers have nowadays, your Happy Jack bed over top of the dual sort of cinema-style sofa lift thing going on. So, if you need maximum load width, you can flip these benches up, as you see here, in their more classic traveling position. Or, if you need more loading height, because you've got something extra super duper tall, you can have them riding on the sidewalls like this when you're going down the road. This is something they started doing a couple years ago, and it's really just become the standard. It took off so well. Or you can kind of split the difference like I've done here and convert this around a couple different ways. Or you could drop those sofas down back here, and you can give yourself a handy little spot where, to be able to sit down, visit with friends, or as alternative bunkhouse use, you could use this as sort of like the little kids' dinette space. And this is what's cool about these funny boxes we call toy haulers, is how they can cross over into so many different things. So I've got this in kind of like a daytime living mode currently. You can obviously drop down those benches like I talk about. They can fold down into like a traditional sort of sofa bench. Or you can fold down the center console, sort of like the back seat of a big truck, and you got that little cinema-style armrest with the cup holders. And then, of course, we got this cool free-floating table. You could use this all over the place. I guess you could use it as island space in the living room if you wanted to, in the kitchen area. But, the primary purpose of it, it's either going to be back here in the garage, or it's going to be outside under the awning as your picnic table. Now, of course, we do still have a queen bed that drops down above, and all you do is simply pull a couple pins to allow that to drop down with the power lift system. Very simple and easy. You do have overhead storage up here. This is a non-loft model. If you're looking for a loft, if you're looking for a bath and a half, look at the 325 Wolfpack that we have here at Haylett RV. You will not be disappointed. That is a sharp, sharp RV right there. But you also notice how it actually does have a pass-through door from here to the inside as well, so you can kind of make that a double-purpose cabinet. And I love the dual skylights overhead in here just to let that extra light here into the garage. And because they are up so high, there's no worry about like privacy or anything. And again, there's USB outlets, household outlets, all kinds of outlets all over. You are all set if you want to add a TV back here in the garage area. It does have simple washer dryer hookup. So if you really are looking to go in this thing for a long, long time, you can. But it's this upgraded pass-through door right here with those glass panel inserts that are like, you might see Jody inside doing some initial quality control on this one before we accept it from the factory. That's pretty standard practice here at Haylett RV. We make sure it's right so that you don't have to. You're not the guinea pig. But this was just a flat panel door, and it was okay, but it felt kind of blah. And they said, you know what, man, if we put a couple nice little glass inserts on there, it would look amazing, would allow some light to pass through, it would feel larger. But one of my first concerns is, yeah, but you don't want that getting jarred around in transit or anything. Well, I was on the other side of the door when it first came in. I tried to open the door, and I couldn't, and I realized that they did it smart. They added this handy little, very simple button snap strap right here. It doesn't have to be fancy sometimes, guys. Sometimes it just has to work very well, and it does. But then I'm thinking, yeah, but now it can swing open in the breeze. And I look down, and that's not just a door stopper. That's a magnet catch like you have on baggage doors and compartment doors of a lot of RVs. So they made it so that it'll stay open or stay closed. In a sense, you have a locking privacy door in the back here. But just the amazingly smart but inexpensive attention to detail that they applied here, if that is like Wolfpack 101 right there. And really, here's one of the coolest things about the 315 Wolfpack. By only having one slide, you actually maintain awesome travel accessibility. Now, we can't get through that pass-through door, but we don't need to, because you've got a second entry door back there direct into the garage if you need to get into that. You can get into all of the kitchen pantry, of which there is plenty of it. You can pack the fridge, you can get into the drawers, you can get under the dinette. You can basically do it all. So the question is, okay, smart guy, what about the bedroom and bathroom? I will admit, it gets close. But close is close enough. In horseshoes and hand grenades. And in the case of this Wolfpack fifth wheel. Because you can do a single little sideways two-step shuffle if you're a little bit careful, just like I did. Now I'm a big guy. I got up here no problem. So I've just demonstrated that, yes, you can, in fact, get into the bedroom, the bathroom, the every room in the Wolfpack 315, even when the slide out is closed. And that is a hard find in a fifth wheel toy hauler. And then as we open the slide, when you really start looking at the seating arrangement, you notice it's not like a lot of other toy haulers that have like these huge party sofas. It's just a normal fifth wheel living room. It just happens to have a place where you can park stuff in the back. And when we cross the threshold from that rear door, you leave like from a garage to an RV. And that's what's really nice here. Like I said, it just has a normal fifth wheel interior. It doesn't have that motocross barbed wire blowtorch extreme thing going on. Now, what is nice is it is still a toy hauler, so it is super tall all the way through, which means they can have these huge slide outs, which opens up the opportunity for these max size airflow sliding windows. You want to get some breeze in an RV, you are on the corner of Boardwalk and Breeze Place right here. I don't think that's funny, I don't think it works, but I went for it anyway. Sometimes in life you just got to take chances. Now, you've also got nicer roll-down blackout shades here in the main slide room. So, if the sun... Whoa! That thing does not mess around. If your fingers slip off it, it goes... kind of like that. Anyway, you get the idea. It moves when it needs to. So, you've got light when you want it. You have privacy when you don't. Maybe you've got a nosy neighbor. Maybe you've got the sun baking you out of this place. You don't have to worry about that whatsoever. What this thing also has is a deceptively good kitchen. I mean, it's very easy to underestimate the kitchen in the 315 Wolfpack. So starting with these drawers over here, I love the fact, it's just something different, but it makes sense, you know, that a lot of RVs have smaller drawers than we have in our homes. So things like spatulas, they can easily block a drawer from opening, whereas here, you've got taller drawers that are a little more friendly to the big stuff that you're going to tend to put in here. Now you've got pressed membrane countertops, and you're going to see that trend recur all the way through, whether it's the dining table, the picnic table that we already saw outside, whether it's these countertops, the bathroom, they all have this pressed edge to them so that there's no T-molding where water can try to sneak through and penetrate into. Now you see that between the flush mount sink cover and that tempered glass stove, you also get some pretty good prep space in here. And this does hide a very sharp stainless farm sink. You know, when you use phrases in this, like, this is a working man, working woman's toy hauler. It's made for Larry Lunchbucket and Jane Sixpack. What you are inclined organically to think is the word cheap. But it's more than that here. It's smart. This is smart appointment. This is intelligence in design. It's built with high value features in mind. And kind of like that little inexpensive button strap that they put on that glass door between the living room and the garage. If they can find a way to do something in an inexpensive but equally effective fashion. That's what they're going to do here. But if it's a daily use, I'm going to use, see, feel, touch it every single day thing, like countertops, like a sink, like that convection microwave down here, kind of doubling as an oven. They will do it. Now this, I think, this is one of the coolest things. It's on that gadget level, but it's awesome. So I first looked at this, when I first saw the very first one on 325 Wolfpack, I looked at it and went, how are they doing that? Does it slot down inside? Do you have to pull this thing out? Like, are you pulling a sword or something like that? And I went up and I grabbed it, and it came right off, and I realized it was magnetically locked against the wall. And then what's cool is the magnet feet on this thing actually act, in a sense, as the feet for this cutting board. So it's a backsplash, it's a cutting board, it's dual purpose, it's a serving tray, it's chef-grade bamboo. It is awesome stuff. Or if I ever, decide I want to tell my wife no, she could use that to equalize the scenario and get me down to her level, because I'm a little taller than her. And obviously I'm not advocating domestic violence, guys. I'm making a joke. The point is, that thing is awesome. I think somebody looked on one of those camping hack forums and said, whoa, that's smart and that's cool, we can do that. Now, standard in this is one of these electric-only residential refrigerators. And a lot of dealers are going to stock it that way because it's less expensive. And that's why they're doing it, and for no other reason. Because, some people say, yeah, but a residential fridge, the unit might be better insulated. That might matter if the fridge is mounted in a slide. This refrigerator is not mounted into a slide. This is a toy hauler. It is made for off-grid use. Chances are you're going to take this thing out of a park at some point. And those little 12-volt batteries that you put up in that front compartment, they are not going to keep that residential fridge running the whole time. And I doubt you want to have a generator running the whole time just to keep some drinks on ice. Well, you don't have to do that here, guys, because this is gas and electric the way that this thing should be. So we actually option into that. This is one of the few options that we've actually applied to this fifth wheel. Now, you've already seen it, but this thing just has monstrously huge overhead cabinet space. Yeah, you might need a 2 or 3 stepper, but the fact is it's there. They didn't waste it. Now, how about this? How about 40-inch full extension drawers under both sides of that dinette? So you never have to lift up the cushions to get to the storage under there. And that's just smart, easy camping. Once again, just Wolfpack 101, going to town, doing something in a not expensive, but awesomely effective fashion. And if all the extra sleeping space you can get via the Power Happy Jack bed lifts in the back, because this RV can already easily sleep 6 people. If you decide you want to pull down these privacy shades, block out the sun, if you want to fold down your seating here in the living room, well, you can get yourself an extra 2 people sleeping capacity there as well. Now with the toy hauler, a lot of your entertainment is outside, but hey, sometimes, you want to take advantage of the seating in the slide out. And that's why I love another thing they do here. Again, inexpensive, but highly effective, is the little cinema style sofa that they have over here. And something that I should have pointed out sooner, there actually is a little kick of storage even under this as well. I mean, that's RV Nerdism number 37, not an ounce of space gone to waste. So if you do want to throw that down there to give yourself a place to have a drink, directly across from that, at an easy viewing angle, which is another of my RV Nerdisms, also number 37, which is No Neck Wrecker Entertainment Center. If you choose to add a TV to this Wolfpack, you've got the perfect place to mount it right there. You've got a Furrion Bluetooth stereo system with expandable HDMI entertainment options, and a remote control electric fireplace below. So you can use it just for visuals, or you could also use it to get a little extra heat in the RV without burning up all your propane. Now, what is also cool over here, whether it's general linen storage for the bathroom or something like that, or if you use it as a pantry, or a combination of both, again, they don't waste anything. They utilize the space. We do have a sliding pocket privacy door here. Now remember, the cost of the Wolfpack 315 compared to last year, it went down, not like thousands, a couple $100, but the fact is you're getting more equipment at a few $100 less money, and one of those features is the new, bigger king bed. Instead of a goofy Camp Queen, they actually have a wider Camp King going on now to give you more space. Now, if you are looking for more of a full residential king size, they do leave you the room to do that. But not everybody's as tall as me. Some people can get away with a shorter mattress. They leave that kind of up to you. Let me pan back up here. You may have noticed how you do have dual air conditioners present right now. That second air conditioner is another option that we have applied to this one. Even though it's only one slide, this thing is very tall, it's very long. There's a great deal of cubic foot of space to cool, so we do go ahead and add the second air conditioner into this here. Now, in the bedroom, again, if you choose to add entertainment, it's at an easy place to see it, but what's neat is, below that, a little kick of bonus storage, because, hey, why waste it? And there is extra hanging storage right there, and you could easily use the space below for maybe like extra shoes or something to kind of keep that contained out of the way, so it's there when you need it, gone when you don't. Now the bed here is also easy lift, so you know, you don't have to like try to wrestle that new bigger king bed to get under here to get to that storage, and you can see there is no big nasty step up around it. It is again a nice feature being 102 wide, how they do have more room to walk around the bed, so you don't have to have a bed in the slide which takes a ton of extra weight and cost to accommodate that. I also love the fact you can see how they, compared to the previous generation, they used to have the mirrored wardrobe closets. They went all the way to the floor. And it was kind of dumb, you know, it didn't do anything. It was a hanging closet, but there was a bunch of empty, wasted space. So they added these drawers here, which acts as a nightstand, and they have both household and USB plugs on both sides of it. And I think that was a really smart decision. Now, in the early generation of this, when it was still called the 305 Wolfpack, it did not have this bathroom entry door right here. You had to go into the bedroom and stare at the people who were sleeping there while they're breathing, which is weird, right? And then you could get into the bathroom. But they said, you know what? All we have to do is just add a door right here, modify the steps a little bit, and bickety bam, we are in business. We've got this nice big bathroom with great floor space now. It's a really odd shaped bathroom, but it's really effective. You've got more of that press membrane countertop stuff we've seen a bunch of times with an extra large sink and extra large vanity as well. Again, they are very good about the important touches. They're very good about doing smart things effectively in an inexpensive fashion. We still have nice lighting in here. You also see that we have the bigger Max Air vent fan here. This is kind of one of those carryover things, again, with this being essentially just the Cherokee toy hauler. This is a Cherokee feature. You're getting Cherokee features in a toy hauler. Now, the upper deck of this is a easy full walk-in height bedroom, even for our, well, bed and bath here. I mean, just to give you an idea, even a tall guy like me, you can walk all over in the bedroom, the bathroom here, no sweat whatsoever. But what's nice is all the shower plumbing below the shower pan is recessed into the floor. So the shower height is the same as the bedroom height that you just saw with me walking around in it. And it also means that this is an easy step-in shower without that big, lumberjack leap to get into the darn thing like some of these travel trailer bunkhouse tubs have. None of that going on here. Back outside here, I am definitely a fan of the more modern look and styling that they have going on here. Something I really should have pointed out much, much sooner is the fact that this is a 102-inch wide-body RV. Though, you know, there's plenty of wide-body toy haulers out there. In fact, that's pretty much the standard, but they made this max width to give you max loading space, max, cargo space, living space, etc. You get the point. Now, you see the little silvery box below that beautiful wide-body nose down there? That is the generator prep. That is another one of those things. The generator prep in the fuel station went from optional to standard on these as compared to last year. So, again, at a glance, it looks the same as last year. But one of the things that you can't see that is no longer optional are the tank heating pads that are now standard on this. So, again, more equipment than last year at less money. That is just a phenomenal thing. If you look at the total value, the push-pull, like if you would have optioned or built one last year versus now, it's actually, it's well over $1,000. It's approaching $2,000 of additional stuff, you know, between the reduced total price tag and more features that you're getting. Now, the last year, the fiberglass skin package was optional, and it is now standard, like so many other things that we've looked at, and it is just, this person does not know where they're going. It just has a beautiful look because it's a super high gloss package. You could virtually stand in front of it and comb your hair. Not that I would know, since, you know, male pattern baldness being what it is. Full outside utility shower, black tank flush, and cold water spray port if you just want to hose off your toys real quick, if you don't want to worry about getting into the shower here to fire up the water heater. Now, someone's going to ask, why do you have an outside shower and a spray port side by side right next to one another. And the answer is because you can do things with the spray port, like this little blue coily hose here with it has a residential fitting on the end. So if you want to use like a normal garden hose style sprayer, you can and get a little more control over what you're doing. And smart features like separated cable satellite hookups. That is just a nice touch on one of these. We've got rough textured seal gripping, leak preventing slide walls over here. A couple people have asked me recently. It's funny, it's been here for years and no one ever asked me. And then all of a sudden, rapid fire, a few people asked, what are these bolts? These are slide adjustments. Basically, every slide out is kind of like a thumbprint. They sort of look like they're all going to fit the same, but they're all slightly different, you know, from manufacturing tolerance levels. And you have the same thing in a Ford, a Chevy, or whatever. That's a normal thing that everyone's aware of. But you have to make sure that that slide fits properly so it's not leaking, and that's what those little slide adjustment screws are there for. The factory adjusts them before they leave. If we need to, we can touch them up a little bit before they go, but the idea there is to make sure the slide fits square. That's what that's for. The fuel station again became standard. It's got a 30-gallon tank, and right below the fuel station there actually is a black tank sewer hose holder as well, so you don't need to mix up your freshwater and sewer water stuff. The side mount ladder also became standard, so you can get up on that full walkable roof to do your maintenance and upkeep. And of course, we've got our patio party deck feature back here. The ramp itself is rated for a 3,000 pound load rating and 1,500 pounds up in the deck formation. The tailgate ramp system on the Wolfpack, they do use a very nice one. Remember, again, anything that really, like, if they can find an inexpensive solution to it, they will. But if they need to spend money, they will. And this is one of those areas they need to do it. Because to try to find a less expensive patio ramp system, you actually have to mount the ramp patio onto the door itself. And it makes that door really heavy to put up and down. And they didn't want customers to have to mess with that. So it actually does attach to the walls of the rear ramp, like, opening area, the door itself, so that you can flip those out, lock them up and down, simple, easy, and you don't have to lift the weight of that thing every time you want to open and close that ramp. And something I rarely do, I don't know why, no particular reason, I rarely show a toy hauler door closed. So, hey, why not? There you go. There's what it looks like. There's a Wolfpack sticker on the back. The rest of this is not really going to change, but what is nice is this, what is it, like a 21-foot power awning on this thing. It is large, it is in charge. You've got, actually, interestingly, dual lighting systems going on under the awning. But before we get there, I want to point out the fact that the awning easily clears both doors. So on a drizzly, rainy day, sometimes along the edge of the awning, it kind of wants to spritz at you a little bit like a water bottle. You know, you don't have that going on here like a spray bottle is what I mean. Doesn't matter. If you understood what I meant the first time, you should probably go have yourself psychiatrically evaluated. My point is, though, it's a long awning that clears the doors. It's also got an auto rain dump strut, and it does have tilt adjustment with those little silver pegs that you see in there. Now, they split the stereo speakers up so it's not going to be centralized and blowing you away in one location. And they still have blue LED accent lighting, which is the same thing that you'll find going on under the awning. And against that incredibly high gloss skin that we have here on the fiberglass generation Wolfpacks, it looks great. But in the middle, you see this is the same LED loading floodlight that you have over the tailgate area. And if you trust this to give you visibility with your toys that cost thousands or maybe tens of thousands of dollars, I'm sure you can trust it to help you see where the next Coors Light is in the cooler. Outside TV hookups, if you are so inclined, you want to shift a TV around, you can. Over here, while we're looking at these big radio wheels here, or, well, tires, on these sharp-looking aluminum wheels, we see the little tire pressure indicators on the valve stems right there. If this drops below the appropriate PSI rating, it'll flip from green to red, so you can always see what you're doing. Also, now that we're up close and personal, we can see that this has all LED tail and marker lights, not just taillights. So even though this is more of a basic offering, you could say, in the fifth wheel toy hauler business, again, it's everything that matters. It's an intelligent equipment package, and that is what's made Wolfpack the single best seller within their price point. if wherever Wolfpack competes, they're the #1 in their category in terms of volume. You know, that speaks volumes to them. The steps here, the upgrade to the MORryde stable steps last year was, I think, a genius decision, especially with something like this that could be used for off-grid use. You know, the jacks sometimes can be a little tricky to use, and the ground's not always level where you're going to park this thing if it's outside of a park. I know, especially southwest, etc., these things are used off the grid quite a bit. So those adjustable foot pegs on that are excellent. And the MORrydes have a little bit wider step planks, which is nice for a little bit more room if you're wearing big trail boots or something. Now we've got our bigger folding entry handle here, and again, what you're seeing here, almost all this is just basically the way it comes. And as hard as I flipped that open, it still didn't smack the side of the trailer with that heavy-duty anti-slam door there. And again, we've kind of seen it maybe a time or two already, but there's that little floating table that you can move around. It has the same pressed membrane countertop that you'll find, you know, in the other areas of the RV, like the bathroom counter, the kitchen counter, etc. So if you leave it outside, it's a humid day. If it's a little rainy and you forget it, you're out on the trails and the weather caught you wrong or something, no big deal. Take a towel, dry it off, bring it back inside. It's not going to sponge and swell. And this big compartment right here, this table's a nice kind of representation of what you could have if you bring a little side mount solar panel for a little use of that portable prep plug up front there. So there you have it, guys. It's the same but better, because everything that was optional kind of got rolled into the standard package here and then some. So and what's great again is this has more equipment than it did last year, and by standardizing things, they were able to control the cost and lower the cost of it overall. It's not often you get more for less, but believe it or not, it actually can happen. So give us a call here at Haylett RV, 800-256-5196. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.